Basically what we're going to be doing is I finished up a lot of it already actually. We've got an Asus motherboard. This is kind of in the $100 range motherboard. It's 1150 socket. We have the Intel 4770K processor, which this is pretty much the top of the line processor on the market right now. And with this build, we're not going to be doing any overclocking, so we went in and kept the stock heatsink with it. We've got a 4 fan setup, 1, 2, 3, 4 fans here. The tower is the Cooler Master Elite 431. Pretty much an entry-level gaming tower. And some of the goals we're going to have with this build are multitask ability, video performance, your RAM speed's going to be there. So that's what we're going for with this build, and we'll see how it goes. With this build, we went with the Asus H81M-A motherboard. This is an entry-level gaming board. You see I already have it installed for the most part into the tower. This uses a Haswell socket, 1150 LGA. We're not going to be doing any overclocking, so I went ahead and used the stock cooler with the thermal paste. It supports up to 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is exactly what we're going to use with this build. It also has the 16x16 multi-sampler slot for your video card. So that's very important. Down here we also have 2 6.0 SATA inputs, which is perfect because we're going to be using 1 hard drive and 1 DVD player. Some of the other features of this board are the integrated audio, which Asus has become famous for. We have 2 3.0 USB drives, 2 2.0 USB drives, of course the audio and the networking. Now we're not going to be using this HDMI input here because you know, that's going off the integrated graphics of the motherboard. We're going to go ahead and use an external video card and run our graphics through that. Came in, we got 8 gigs Corsair Vengeance. Pretty good standard RAM. Actually, it's pretty high end. 8 gigs of RAM. I think it's the perfect amount for this particular build. It's not the fastest RAM you can get, but it's pretty high end. You can actually buy these at Best Buy. I've used them in my computer. I have 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance in my computer. I like them. Very fast RAM, solid, reliable. Everything you get with the Corsair name brand. And so very, very happy with this purchase. The video card came in, as you can see. We got the Radeon 7790 with the DirectCU 2 overclock. This is basically the low-end model of the 7000 series. You know, you don't want to skimp on your graphics card. This is one of your main components that's really going to set your computer apart from everybody else's. Our hard drive here, 1 terabyte, Western Digital, pretty quality drive. Nice solid hard drive, you know, pretty standard, good quality. A little lip right there, here we go, nice and easy. And then we got a couple screws that we can use as well. So, got a couple different options with this tower, but this is the option I think is going to work the best with the way the cable management. Really going to be a challenge with this cable management. The power supply in. Just a couple screws in the back there. TX650. You spend a little bit more money, you get a TX750 or 850, you get a fully modular design. They give you the cords separately, and you basically just plug them in, and it's plug and play. Okay, so we ran into 2 small issues with this build, I've noticed. So I want to go ahead and put the RAM in here, as you can see. And right here on the end with the new fan that we installed earlier this week, the RAM's kind of pushing up against it. So I think I'm going to end up doing is taking this RAM out, and I'm going to remove this fan, and we're going to do a little bit of modification to the edge of the fan and see if we can cut that and get it to fit a little nicer in there. Okay, so we went ahead and took the RAM out. we're going to remove this fan. I took 3 of the screws, still got 1 screw. But before I take this out, what I want to do is I got a Sharpie permanent marker. And I want to make sure that I know exactly which side I'm on that I want to do some fabrications on. We got it cut off. Now we're going to use the little sander tool, get the edges smoothed out on it, and go from there. See, after doing a little bit of fabrication here, we got no issues. The ram's completely separated. You know, something like that could be a problem down the road where you know, it could affect your performance or hurt the longevity of your computer. You don't want anything pushing up against the RAM like that. So I'm very happy with doing what we did there. You're not going to be able to see this part of the fan. We're going to get it closed up and everything's going to be, you know, sealed in here eventually. But so we got that issue solved. So that's just one thing out of the way, and then move to the next one. Okay, I think we're done with the wire management here. Best advice I could say for something like this is use as many zip ties as humanly possible. At least that's my strategy, and it seems to work out pretty well. See the back here. Got this all routed through here with our USB. And then let's take a look at the front. Here. You know, I had a lot of extra wires to work with, and it's a smaller tower. So just gotta clean it up and make it look as good as you can, and that's basically the strategy I use. Is use a lot of zip ties, just make a clean setup. Fans are in, RAM's in, everything's in. I think we're getting ready to boot this thing up here. We're gonna go ahead and use HDMI cord. Actually pretty decent quality. You can argue online. Have you ever seen the arguments? What's best? HDMI, DVI, VGA cables. In my household, we use HDMI. So, all right, it's about time to get this thing rolling. We're at the moment of truth here. Everything's together. Got the TV hooked up, HDMI. Colleen will do the honors.
Where's the button?
They're on the right.
Ta-da!
That's a good sign.
Blue,
beep.
The blue lights are on. Ta-da!
Alright, all our fans are working.
What's all that?
Our DVD drive works. Nothing seems wrong.
That's good.
And there we go. So the BIOS came up. We're going to go ahead and install the operating system, and we'll be good to go.